Hello guys, my name is Michael, and this is Dragon Age Origins. I know, three games at once? Yeah, it is a bit much. Let me turn the music down. It's pretty loud. Anyway, let's get started, shall we? I do plan on playing the DLC, just, later. I already know exactly what I'm gonna make. So is the Golden City blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness and prevail. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Alright, the background you select will determine which of 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game. I'm gonna play a female human rogue, I think. Actually, you know what? Let's see. I'm not dwarf. Yeah, we're gonna play human. We're gonna be a rogue. Um, I was between the rogue and the warrior. Um, but I really don't. I really don't like missing out on loot. So I'm going to play a rogue just to make sure I always have somebody that can unlock chests. That's what I'm going to do.
Greetings.
Well, I'm good with this. I like this hairstyle. Yeah. Now, as shitty as my own eyes are, I actually cannot fucking see the changes in eye color at all. So I'm just gonna leave the eye color at the default. I really don't spend a whole lot of time on character creation.
I've lost concentration. Greetings. Greetings. Charmed. Greetings. Greetings.
Yeah, I like the experienced voice. And I'm gonna keep the default name too. I know I'm boring, I always keep default names. And I'm gonna put all my points into cunning until it's like, what was it, 22, 26 at least? And then I'll start worrying about my other stats. It's gonna leave me pretty weak early on, but we'll be fine. I always take corrosion not corrosion, coercion if it's an option. And I always take it because it's your persuade / intimidate skill. I take deft hands because that's all your lock picking stuff. Yeah, and you get the best one at 22. But cunning also goes into a rogue's, I think, armor penetration. So yeah, there's that too, which is going to be really good. Now, I do plan on using some archery. I don't know how far I'll go into it, but I'll get some basic stuff at least. But I'm definitely going dual wield spec. So I think, let's see, do I want below the belt for a debuff? I actually think I'll go ahead and get dual weapon training now, because my dexterity is not going to be very high anytime soon. Yeah, I like this. I like this. We're gonna play on normal difficulty, just to make sure. I've never played on anything other than normal. It's what I play on. Huh.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlans, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown, not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No, no. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. Though we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pop, I didn't see you there. How? You remember my daughter?
I see she's become a lovely young woman. Pleased to see you again, my dear.
Let's see. And you, Arl,
My son Thomas asked after you. Perhaps I should bring him with me next time.
To what end?
To what end, she says. So glib, too. She's just like her mother when she talks like that.
See what I contend with, Hal? There is no telling my fierce girl anything these days. Make her bless her heart.
Quite talented, I'm sure. One to watch.
At any rate, Pop, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
What? Why can't I go to battle with you and Fergus?
I'm certain you'd more than prove yourself, but I am not willing to deal with your mother if you join the war. She'd kill me if I let you go. She's already twisted into knots about Fergus and me going.
Alright, I'll do what you think is
Now,
best.
that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
He mentioned that they defeated the Darkspawn a long time ago.
Not permanently, I fear.
Without their warning of the Darkspawn rising now, half the nation could have been overrun before we'd had a chance to react. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your daughter is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is my daughter we're talking about.
Damn, Dad, getting a little defensive, aren't you? Is there a
You did
reason?
just finish saying that Grey Wardens are heroes, old friend.
I've not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
But I'd like to stay and talk to Duncan.
You'll have plenty of time after we're gone. We must discuss the battle plans in the south. Be a good lass and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Jesus. I'm gonna have, yeah, I didn't realize tutorials were on. Yeah, there we go. Because that's gonna bug me, because they don't like, there we go. Wait, I already started Soldier's Pass? I thought that didn't start until, I thought that didn't start until after you, like, well, in case people are watching that don't know, I'm not gonna spoil anything, I guess. Not for now, anyway. I'm a very spoiler-friendly channel. And by spoiler-friendly, I mean they don't bother me. So I'm not going to be anal about spoilers. I mean, just so no one's under any illusion otherwise, I have played this game to its conclusion. I just never actually beat the final boss. But I have gotten to it. I just never finished the battle and never went back to it. So we got to work with. DLC gives us the Blood Dragon plate, which, unfortunately, even if I was a warrior and a dwarf, because I believe dwarves get a higher bonus to their strength, I still don't think you'd be able to use that right from the beginning. It appears to be all that we're starting with. We only have 2 daggers. We don't have any kind of ranged weapon. Let's talk to Duncan.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
May we speak later?
Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner.
I look forward to it.
As do I. Until then.
Now, I'm not going to go super crazy investigating, like, every little detail. Like, I know that Duncan and Arl Howe don't really have anything interesting to say.
Let's get started.
Not in the tutorial, anyway. But later on, I might investigate things a little more thoroughly. Mother Malal. Let's see. Where is... Oh, there it is. I'm just going to explore. I'm going to find these codex entries.
On it.
If you... In the PC version, which obviously that's what I'm playing, if you hold down Tab, it'll actually highlight interactable objects. Like, see, it highlights Mother Malal here, it highlights the guards, because I can right-click on them and interact with them. Let's go ahead and talk to Mother Malal.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
If it'll make you feel better.
Would it not make you feel better?
I've told you before I don't believe in the
I pray that
Maker.
the danger your brother and father face might change your mind. It saddens me that you will walk alone in this world and the hereafter by your choice of blindness. But I will bother you no further. I must yet administer to soldiers who will appreciate it. Excuse me.
Yeah, well. I suppose that went the only way it could have. Aha! Locked doors. And this is why I like picking the
Let's get started.
I don't get anything particularly useful out of it right now, like that blank vellum is worthless, but I get a little bit of free XP for unlocking these
As you
things.
wish.
And that alone is worth it to me. Well, there's some elf fruit. I can make use of that.
Good evening, milady.
Let's see here. What else
Good evening,
got going on here?
On it.
Anything in here? There's a chest with some quartz. We can sell that later. Now this isn't going to be like some in-depth walkthrough. I don't know anywhere near enough of the game to do something that crazy. But I do like to explore a bit and try and find loot and stuff. This is much like the Fallout 3 series that I'm doing. This is going to be very, very long.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my abruptness, my lady. It's simply that I've been looking everywhere for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Did the dog get into the larder again?
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. He'll listen to his mistress, but anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
He knows better than to hurt anyone.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
To the kitchen.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
And by the kitchen, I mean I'm going to go the complete opposite direction. Basically, I just run into rooms and hold down the tab button. See if there's anything that highlights. There's Mom. I'll wait to talk to her, though. Until afterwards.
On
Books. More books. The History of Ferelden.
Let's get started.
I believe this is chapter 3. No, this is the culture of Ferelden. Okay. Anyway. Let's see what Brother Aldous has to say.
Hello, my dear girl. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
Sorry.
So you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson.
I mean, sure. I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
We predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
The records are vague. But the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
During the lycanthrope plagues?
Good. I'm pleased some of my lessons seem to have stuck. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city. Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
We predate the I thought that's what I said. I guess not.
I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young lady.
literally just got done telling them to be respectful. And this is the shit he pulls? Your lecturing does lead to yawning.
A pity you don't spend the same care whetting the edge of your mind as your tongue. At any rate, your family has held the Tournere of High Ever since before King Calenhad united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elethea Kuslan battled Calenhad to maintain High Ever's independence.
Calenhad let us keep...
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
We opposed the king?
The Kuslans are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached High Ever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
Tell about our relationship with our...
The history between the Kuslans and the House reaches back to the Orlesian occupation. During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near High Ever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Tournere's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
Unfortunate, but we couldn't lose Harper's Ford.
Correct. That caused a rift between the two families. As you might imagine, the Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Logain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
Time to end the lesson, I think.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself.
Bitter mumbling.
Good evening, milady.
Alright.
Good evening, milady.
Do the larder. Well, let's go here first. Sacks. Many sacks. Elf fruit. More elf fruit. Even more elf fruit. Alright. And a cat.
Get that bloody mutt out of the larder.
But mistress, it won't let us near.
If I can't get into that larder, I'll skin both of you useless elves. I swear it.
Calm down, good woman. We've come to help.
You and you. Your bloody mongrel keeps getting into my larder. That beast should be put down.
Not mongrel. He's a pure-blood Mabari.
A blight wolf is what he is. How am I supposed to work like this?
Oh dear. Mistress, calm down, please.
That's it. I'll quit. Inform the turner. I'll go and cook at some nice estate in the Banorn.
Nan, please. We'll get the dog. Calm down.
Just get him gone. I've enough to worry about with a castle full of hungry soldiers. You two, stop standing there like idiots. Get out of the way.
Look at that mess. How did he even get in here?
Did you boy?
He does seem like he's trying to tell you something. Wait, did you hear that?
Name him after one of my old dogs.
Desperation is an ugly fume. You're mine! This should be easy enough.
It did.
On it.
I'm doing this to try and get as many of these kills as possible.
How about you? Stay still.
Giant
There we go.
rats. It's like the start of every bad adventure tale my grandfather used to tell. Your hound must have chased them in through their holes. Looks like he wasn't raiding the larder after all.
Those were very
I've
large
seen
rats.
larger. They come up from the Kakari wilds sometimes. But seeing as you've got your Mabari well in hand, I'll be on my way. I'm to prepare for the arrival of more of the Isle's men.
Getting a lot of Alfred.
There he is, as brazen as you please, licking his chops after helping himself to the roast, no doubt.
Actually, he was defending your larder from rats. Big ones.
What? Rats? Not the large grey ones.
They'll rip you to shreds, they will.
See, now you've gone and scared the servants. I expect those filthy things are dead.
My faithful warhound made sure it's safe.
Oh, I bet that dog led those rats into there to begin with. Oh, don't even start with the sad eyes. I'm immune to your so-called charms. Here then, take these pork bits and don't say that Nan never gives you anything. Bloody dog. Thank you, my lady. Now we can get to work. That's right, you two. Quit standing about.
You gotta love the dog.
Thank you again for your help. Now, if you'll just hold on a moment. Yes? Agni, get moving with those casts. And Kath, do you think you can serve that to the turn with dirt from the floor all over it?
Miserable old bat.
Oh, bat am I? We've got to work double time on supper, sweep out the hearths, and no complaining.
Busy day?
Just keeping order. That's why your father keeps me on. The good maker knows I needn't take care of you anymore. Thank you for coming to your old nanny's rescue. That blasted hound is more trouble than he's worth. He is. And don't start with me. You've gotten all you're getting today. But what about you, my lady? Been keeping safe and well behaved, I hope?
Of course.
Good. I'm not exactly privy to your goings-on now that you're grown. Just an old nanny, never invited to your father's fancy meetings. Do you remember that bedtime tale I used to tell you, the dog that bit?
I remember it.
Good. Then you can start. A warhound was born to the elder bitch of a tribal chief. They named him Hahaku and gave him everything. He grew up a fine, strong pup, destined to be the partner of the chief's eldest son.
Tohaku grew prideful.
The young hound became arrogant, taking food from his kin and warning them, in the way of dogs, that the chief's family would punish them if they tried to attack him. Years passed, and the time for the chief's son to take a warhound came closer. Hahaku's pride swelled, and many of the people of the tribe came to the chief, quietly whispering of this dog's bullying. With each complaint, the chief saw only Hahaku's strength and pride, and sent his people away. But as his son grew, the chief watched more closely. The day might come when his boy's life would depend on this dog. If the humblest of his people would not trust Hahaku, how could he?
Haku's own misdeeds bit him.
When the day came, Hahaku sat proudly waiting to be called, but the old chief chose Hahaku's brother as his son's hound. Hahaku was shamed, but felt no remorse. So great was his rage that he darted across the fire pit and bit the chief's hand.
That was a
The
mistake.
chief and his son struck at Hahaku, cursing him. The hound ran into the village, seeking shelter in the tents and kennels. The other dogs snapped at him, and the tribe's people threw stones at him. Before the chief could reach him, the tribe had torn Hahaku apart. Now, what should you carry from this tale?
Don't abuse your
Exactly.
power.
Hahaku took advantage of a position he thought he was entitled to. But you're far too old now for an old woman to be reminding you to watch how you behave, hmm?
Thanks for the story.
It's a story worth repeating. That's all. Be off with you then. Tell your brother farewell before he rides off to war.
It's a neat story, I think. Now we visit Mom.
And my dear Bryce bought this back from Orlais last year. The Marquess who gave it to him was drunk, I understand, and mistook Bryce for the king. Ah, here is my lovely daughter. I take it by the presence of that troublesome hound of yours that the situation in the kitchen is handled?
Nan's head exploded and my hound ate the kitchen staff.
Well, at least one of us will have had a decent dinner. Perhaps your hound left something I can feed my guests. Darling, you remember Lady Landra, Ban Lawrence's wife?
I think we last met at your mother's spring salon.
Of course. It's good to see you again, my lady.
You're too kind, dear girl. Didn't I spend half the salon trying to convince you to marry my son?
And made a very poor case for it, I might add.
You remember my son, Dyron. He's not married yet either.
Don't listen to her. It's good to see you again, milady. You're looking as beautiful as ever.
Flatterer.
And this is my lady in waiting, Iona. Do say something, dear.
It is a great pleasure, my lady. You are as pretty as your mother describes.
You would think that it would make it easier to make a match for her, not more difficult.
Perhaps your daughter simply has a mind of her own, your ladyship. You should be proud.
Proud doesn't get me any more grandchildren.
I can handle my own affairs, thank you.
All evidence to the contrary.
I think perhaps I shall rest now, my dear. Dyron, I will see you and Iona at supper.
Perhaps we'll retire to the study for now.
Good evening, your ladyship.
Now we'll talk to Mom.
You should say goodbye to Fergus while you have the chance.
Do you know there's
yes,
a great
your father
room
mentioned
here?
that. You haven't got it into your head that you want to be recruited.
Would that be so
There's
bad?
enough here at the castle to occupy you. I don't need you off chasing danger like your brother.
I have a bad feeling about
As
all
do I.
this.
Your father and brother are marching off to fight Maker knows what. All the assurances in the world don't comfort me. But it wouldn't help for us to take up arms and follow. Fergus and your father have their duty and we have ours.
I should go.
I love you, my darling girl. You know that, don't you?
I love you too.
Go do what you must then. I will see you soon.
We're actually going to go to the study real fast. Whoopsie. This way. And we're going to talk to Iona.
That is a wonderful dog. He seems very noble and intelligent. Greetings once again, my lady.
You're very pretty, if I might say so.
My lady is very kind. Thank you.
I haven't seen many elven
Lady
ladies
Landor
in
has
waiting.
been very good to me. I am lucky. If I may, I see that you have no ladies in waiting. Is this usual for a noble woman of your rank?
If I had a maid like yourself, I might consider it.
You are very kind, my lady. I am nobody special. You make me blush.
I think we should get to know each other better.
Are we doing just that? What else did you have in mind?
It's something more intimate. Later on in my room.
I see. I think I might like that. If I come to your door once everyone is asleep, would that be agreeable, my lady?
Please, call me Alyssa.
Until tonight, then.
And we're not going to talk to Dyron, because he usually just comments on the fact that you've already talked to the other person.
As you wish.
Nothing. The door was locked, and there's nothing in here. Figures.
This should be easy enough.
I don't think you can. No. See, it's grayed out. That means you need a key. Or just straight up can't unlock it. But
is there really going to be a war, Papa? Will you bring me back a sword?
That sword, Oren. And I'll get you the mightiest one I can find, I promise. I'll be back before you know it.
I wish victory was indeed so certain. My heart is disquiet.
Don't frighten the boy, love. I speak the truth. And here's my little sister to see me off. Now dry your eyes, love, and wish me well.
just let me know when you two are finished.
When there's a man in your life, you'll understand.
Men are over.
One day you'll meet someone who can handle you. Mark my words.
Did you know there's a Grey Warden in the castle?
Really? Was he riding a griffin?
Shh, Oren. Griffins only exist in stories now.
I'd heard that. Did he say why he's come?
He's going to test Sir Gilmore.
Good for him. I hope he makes it. If I were a Grey Warden, though, I'd have my eye on you. Not that Father would ever allow it.
You'll be missed.
If it's any consolation, I'm sure I'll freeze in the southern rain and be completely jealous of you up here, warm and safe.
I am positively thrilled that you will be so miserable, husband.
I wish you could come. It'll be tiring killing all those darkspawn myself.
In Antiva, a woman fighting in battle would be unthinkable.
Is that so? I always heard Antivan women were quite dangerous.
With kindness and poison only, my husband.
This from the woman who serves me my tea.
Do you really think the war will be over quickly?
Word from the south is that the battles have gone well. There's no evidence that this is a true blight, just a large raid.
Could that be true?
I'll see for myself soon enough. Pray for me, love, and I'll be back within a month or two.
I'll bring a message. Father wants you to leave without him.
Then the Arl's men are delayed. You'd think his men were all walking backwards. Well, I'd better get underway. So many Darkspawn to behead, so little time. Off we go then. I'll see you soon, my love.
I would hope, dear boy, that you plan to wait for us before taking your leave.
Be well, my son. I will pray for your safety every day you are gone.
A good shield would be more useful.
May God sustain and preserve us all. Watch over our sons, husbands and fathers, and bring them safely back to us.
And bring us some ale and wenches while you're at it. For the men, of course.
Fergus, you would say this in front of your mother?
What's a wench? Is that what you pull on to get the bucket out of the well?
A wench is a woman that pours the ale in a tavern, Orin. Or a woman who drinks a lot of ale.
Bryce, maker's breath. It's like living with a pair of small boys. Thankfully, I have a daughter.
I'll miss you, mother dear. You'll take care of her, sister, won't you?
You can count on me.
Oh, good. How thrilling to know I'm so well taken care of.
Enough, enough. Pup, you'll want to get an early night. You've much to do tomorrow.
Ah, crap.
Your hound is making so much noise. He seems so angry.
Perhaps something's wrong.
I thought I heard yelling when I woke up, but now I hear nothing. I'm gonna see if someone's in the hall.
Warden.
That's fucked up. Wouldn't do to go fighting in my underwear.
Move and parry! Strike and kill!
Of 11 lesser health.
No, quarter!
Nations in this game. And you are just going to have to deal with a cliffhanger. I'll see you next time.